The world is at war with the coronavirus, but that doesn't mean that we can't still enjoy some good music. And these are the JBL Reflect Flow. And if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, the way I like to do things is, first of all, we'll look at the design and the design features. Then we'll talk about the usability. Then I'll talk about the sound quality and how well they do in 4 different genres of music, and then I'll tell you which one I think is the best. And then at the end we'll talk about the awesome features, because every product needs awesome features, otherwise it's a bit really, isn't it? You ready? Let's go. So guys, these headphones are very specifically made for sports, just in case you're wondering. And there's a bunch of other headphones that I've tested in the past, stuff that's great for traveling, stuff that's great for just casual listening. These are specifically for sports. And there's 2 different colors of the JBL Reflect Flow available. There's this baby blue color, which is more for the ladies, but that's not to say you can't rock them if you're a dude. I've been wearing these and the color's not exactly my style, but I think I can pull it off. But check this out, the case itself is quite big, and when I put this side by side with the Sony's, actually it doesn't feel that big, but it's definitely a bit more chunky here on the width. And to get an even better idea of the size, these are the Huawei FreeBuds 3, and you can see the size difference here is massive. These are casual listening. The Sony's are pretty heavy duty traveling headphones with crazy noise cancelling. And these are sports headphones, and I think this case has really been designed just to throw in your sports bag and basically just protect the earbuds from getting damaged when it's getting knocked around in there, not specifically for your pocket. And if we take a closer look at this case, on the back here you've got an LED light strip, and it will actually tell you how much charge is left in the case. You've got a micro USB charging port, and I know what some of you guys are going to say, it's 2020, why is there a micro USB port? But don't judge these headphones based on that alone. When you flip it open, the earbuds themselves just click in place like this with magnetic connectors. The lid is magnetic as well, so it's not going to fly open by accident. Pretty cool, quite satisfying actually. Now if you look at the earbuds themselves, you'll notice they've got LEDs on the back. They've got the accent color on the back as well, and they've got these silicone tips here. So you've got this part, which is the part that creates the seal inside your ear, and then you've got this part which they call the enhancers. So what these do really is just create this really nice fit in the inside of your ear so they won't fall out when you're running around. And I've been using the ones that it came with. I haven't changed them for the different options yet. I don't think I need to, because these fit so well and they're actually really comfortable when I'm wearing them as well. And when it comes to sports headphones, of course, comfort is very important. On the backs of the earbuds, you've got the JBL branding there. The canal here is actually not that long, so the drivers don't actually sit that close to your ear. That's why it's very important you get the right seal for your ear when you set these up. But overall, from a design standpoint, they're not too flashy, they're quite low key, but they do look pretty cool to me. Let me know what you guys think about the design. Now let's move on to usability. So when it comes to using the earbuds for the first time, all you need to do is pop open the case, search for it on your phone, pair it over Bluetooth, and it's Bluetooth 5.0 by the way. And there's also another way of pairing these, and that's by holding down the right earbud button for 5 seconds, and that will manually activate the Bluetooth pairing mode if you need to pair it to a second device. You can't pair it to a second device at the same time, but to be honest, if you're using these for sports, you're probably going to use the same device every time anyway. When it comes to the onboard controls, these are clickable buttons. They're not capacitive, so you actually physically have to push them down, and that can cause these to be pushed into your ear a little bit. But after using them for a little while, you kind of figure out a way of not doing that just by kind of hooking your finger over the top. So a single push here will allow talk through. A second push will then put on ambient aware mode, and that's where it basically mutes the music really low so you can hear your surroundings. And a third push will take you back to the normal play mode. And then if you double push the left earpiece, it will skip the track forward. Then on the right earbud, a single push will play pause. Another push can be used for picking up calls, and a 2-second long push will enable your voice assistant, whether that's Siri or Google. So it's nice that they've added that in there. The light indicators on the back actually tell you what's happening. So right now it's looking for Bluetooth devices. It's in pairing mode. If it's blinking red, it means it's running out of battery. And then when you put it back in the case, you can see the solid red means charging. So it's pretty straightforward controls. It would have been nice to have volume control here on the earbuds as well, but at this point it can only be done via your phone. Maybe that's something that will show up later in a software update. One thing I will say about this is they don't have an app to support these earbuds, so I'm not sure if it is even possible to send out an update for these earbuds. Maybe, and if they do that, it'd be nice to see volume controls. And the fact that it doesn't have an app also means that you cannot customize the EQ, but that's not a bad thing because you've got JBL's custom signature sound EQ programmed onto these earbuds, and that takes me nicely on to the sound quality section of this video. You ready? Let's go. Alright, so let's start with rock. I always try to use the same tracks on all of the different earbuds I use. That way I get a good idea of how they compare to other headphones and how good they are in the price category. So right here on rock music, the JBL sound signature is great. And it's because it's an all-rounder. It's got really nice mids and the highs are very distinct. Not too sharp at the high end. And that is a good thing when it comes to rock music. There's loads of like hi-hats and drums and stuff like this. It's not too overpowering. The stereo separation is really good, and I have to say these work really well in the rock category. Alright, so this is an EDM track, but I have no idea who these people are, whether they're the people that actually made the tune or not, whether they just made a playlist on Deezer. But anyway, it's a good song. It's Para Fakuva and it's Wicked Games. It's a good track, and when it comes to electronic music, this is where the bass comes in, and as long as you've got a good seal with the ear tips, then you're going to get good bass from the reflect flows. And I have to say I'm really enjoying EDM music with the reflex flows, and it's largely because of that bass, but it's also really well balanced there in the mids. It's not too muddy either, so I actually really like this with EDM. Let's move on to the hip hop track. So one of the reasons I like to test this track is because the bass is so heavy and it really puts the earbuds through their paces. And again, the reflect flows perform really well here, and that's because of that bass range that it has. It works really nice here, and again, that clarity there in the mids and the highs is good. The only thing I would say is I'd like to just bump the bass up just a bit more. I wish there was an app for these headphones to tweak the sound signature a bit, but I tell you what, out of the box, it's pretty good for hip hop as well. So this is kind of a live recorded track. It's a classical track with vocals, and the vocals sound really nice here. The bass is also there, not overpowering again. Clarity is great. Separation between the channels is also very good. It would be nice to have a bit more of a wider soundstage feeling from these, but you can't really complain. So overall, out of all the tracks that I just tested these out with, I'd have to say EDM is where these headphones perform the best, and that's my opinion. I suggest you guys have a listen to these yourselves, and if you disagree with what I'm saying, then let me know in the comments below. But I feel EDM for the reflex flows, that's what they're really good at. Alright, so now it's time for my favorite section, awesome features. So I skipped over the number one most awesome feature earlier on in the video, and it is the battery life. So the JBL reflect flows have a 20-hour battery life in the case and a 10-hour battery life on the earbuds themselves, and that's just crazy. There's not many earbuds out there right now that have 10-hour battery life, so that's insane, and that is definitely an awesome feature. Another awesome feature is if you're running low on juice, throw the earbuds in the case for 10 minutes and you can get up to 1 hour playback from that 10-minute charge, which is really awesome. So if you're going to the gym, you forgot to charge them, you can then chuck these in for 10 minutes on the way there, and then you're good to go for an hour session. So that's pretty awesome as well. And another really awesome feature is the JBL reflect flows are IPX7 rated, which means they are waterproof, which again, for sports, if you're running in the rain or something like that, you will be alright, because these have one of the highest certifications for waterproofness, if that's a word. And that's pretty awesome. And the last awesome feature that I feel I should mention is comfort. So I've been wearing these a lot, and even in long durations, you don't get that uncomfortable feeling like your ears are just jammed, and that's because of the way the ear tips are not so close to your eardrums, and they do a really good job of passively cancelling out noise. So there's no active noise cancelling, but when you've got these in and you've got them at about 50%, you can barely hear your surroundings. And that's why that talk through and ambient pass through is so useful, especially if you're riding a bike or if you're running. You still want to kind of hear some of the traffic just so you don't step out in front of a bus or something. So that's pretty awesome. And if you guys want to check out the price on the JBL Reflex Flows, there's a link below this video where you can get the most up-to-date prices. If you enjoyed this one, stay tuned for some more tech stuff. I've got a whole backlog of videos to make on various smartphones and other headphones, so stay tuned for those. If you enjoyed this one, there's some other thumbnails on screen you might like, and if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. See you in the next one. Don't be late.